welcome to another garden update. It's July 1st. That means that we're halfway through the year. We've already had our summer solstice. Everything's going down. The sun is going to be rising later in the day and setting earlier. And this is the beginning point of winter, believe it or not. But, as we are trying to keep you updated, I have some treats for you, some updates. I've been asked to have more of a focus on tips, and I also wanted to give some shout outs in this video today. But on my YouTube channel, you'll see that I had some worry on my watermelons. I had some worry on my peppers. I had some speculation on my strawberries that we fixed. There's been a lot of different things that happen when you're trying a garden. But here's the truth of it, and the number one tip. If you're gardening and you are worried, wait a week. As long as everything, like your leaves are looking good and the fruit isn't really being affected, your yield, that is, then wait that week. And you'll probably just not be worried about it anymore. So that's my experience. On another note, the tip of the day was, or what was asked, is how to garden on a time budget. And in my experience, I do hand watering for the majority of my gardening. I've made some improvements on that though, so working with the proper type of irrigation, that is the number one way of probably saving yourself some time. I have a fairly large garden here, and it definitely even takes up my time. So if you have like an acre, or things like big space, which I'll be extending hopefully in the next year, but that's definitely number one priority for time management. Otherwise is, creating good walkways and spaces. So, on my garden I have walkways in and out and over and around, and, no bed is any wider than 6 feet or longer than 10 feet other than the back along the fence. So, that's a good program. But I don't want this to be a super long video, so I'm just going to go kind of straight to it. But I hope you enjoy, and I hope you like and subscribe. We're going to have prizes at the end of the month, so it starts today. All comments on YouTube and Facebook, Nahx Service and Solution page. Please let me know, and please message me, email me. I'm looking for business. That's the reason for this. I just want to have more of an intimate introduction to who I am, what I'm all about. The biggest bridge that I have to cross in the element of sales is trust, and who is this guy. So all these videos, my dog, the Kiwi walks, is all as an attempt to really showcase who I am, what I'm all about, and to let you know, yes, you can trust me, and just start communicating and try for yourself. But thank you very much for watching. Here we go. Alright, so today's projects, we're going to start in the garden, in the garage. You get to see the inside. This is Kiwi's domain. How much food she eats and where she hangs out in the shade during the day. But here is what we have, what I'm working with. So what we're going to do today, we actually did some harvesting, so I'll show you that. But I have some perlite, peat moss, the Pro Moss version, which is awesome, and then a Pro Mix. Now the Pro Mix is just for like a great potting mix. High porosity is a great blend that works for almost anything, and you won't have to worry about adding amendments and whatnot. It is an expensive blend, so if you're on a budget, definitely there's other cheaper options, but I really just wanted to make sure that things worked this year. So this has been my investment. You're looking at about $100 in an investment on just soils and treatment. So here alone, about $100. Keep that in mind. after that, the peat moss and perlite is what we're going to be using today. So I've torn up some beds, and we're going to do that. Here I've made the amendments. I'm going to add a little bit more. I think I definitely need more, but this is a pro moss, peat moss, and perlite mix, and we're going to add this to the soil where I tore up, and we're going to add a new bed. So as we're moving into this next step, our first step, I wanted to show you real quick where we're working today. I did harvest that lettuce, so there's the last like little 5 rows right here, and the onions over here, white onions is what they were. They just did not produce. I left some in the front to see what would happen there, but we're just going to treat this back area bed and really see to get our soil bursting, and the plan is to do maybe a fall lettuce bed or other things, but suggestions are welcome. So anything you might suggest for a summer crop starting July 1st or early July anyway, let me know. Before we show you the harvest, here is what we're going to be using. This is that mix, so perlite, it's about 3 part perlite, 3 part pro moss, and 2 parts perlite. This is just a new mix, but here's what it will look like after you actually do the appropriate mixing. And what I did is, with the greenhouse, I just kind of been baking it. I watered it down, had it mixed so it's cooking, and it should be a really nice, mix. It's really super dry, and I'm going to be adding that one and putting the new batch back in the greenhouse to cook. So just a good idea, not necessary step, but definitely a good idea from my experience. So here's the harvest. Spokane residents, be aware. Free lettuce. It is bitter right now. I have it in water and in my wheelbarrow, but you have some baby romaine at your disposal, as well as some Simpson. And like I say, it is really bitter. It's definitely gone too long, but from what I know, that all you have to do is put it in the fridge, let it sit for a week, and that'll all shed out, and you'll have some amazing lettuce. So come and get it. So I took out those, and also the onions that I pulled. So you'll notice in that bed there's about 3 foot by maybe a 6 or 7 foot area, and this is our yield with the onions. So you can see why I needed to yank that early, and so I am going to use these obviously and add them to some food and whatnot. Skinny guy I am, this is what I survive on. So yes, I know I'm skinny. Please let it go. Sorry I don't eat at the fast food restaurants, and I bike and walk and hike and other things. So let's move on. Alright, so we're going to make the amendments. Really simple. It's not a big task or anything. All you want to do is add it to the top, spread it out, and then water down. One of the most important parts. You do want it to get in. I've just found that with my soil being as rocky as it is, and especially worried about how those onions did in this patch, I want the next whatever's going to go here to have a chance, a better chance. So really all I'm doing, you don't need a lot, honestly. I mean, I'm just doing a scoop off of this shovel, which like 4 whatever's a basic garden shovel full per like maybe a square foot. So once you kind of get that laid out, all you want to do is use a bigger rake, but for the sake of space and videoing, you just kind of want to spread it around, and as you water through, it'll definitely spread out on its own and get into the soil, but You know, you just want to get a nice layer, spread it out. So once I have this done, and granted you're hearing a lot of rock, we are on the riverbed here in Spokane, just north of the river, so it's amazing how much everything grows though, truly. And show you the final results here. Alright, so new looking soil. How that is. And old soil, which actually was amended as well, but very lightly and only on the top. So that's the progress with that. Alright, so I'm going to cut it a little bit short because I do not want this to be a super long video. I know that gets annoying, so you and for me, we got to do more than just film. But thanks for watching. As far as shout outs, Mom, I love you and I appreciate you. You mentioned potential. I do believe that I have a lot of potential, and I do believe that I'm showcasing that. But I love you, and even though I'm not going to be able to make it down there for the family reunion, think about you and love you. Otherwise, also, big followers, I really do appreciate you, and I do recognize. But, my Aunt Bonnie, my sister Des, Peggy. Peggy's become like my grandma in another state. So, she's a rocker, old lady getting her motorcycle license. I'm so, impressed and happy for you, and, definitely not trying to ignore you, just been busy. That's a common excuse, but I assure you, you are loved and appreciated. Also, like Angela Net and Jeff Net, you guys are awesome, definitely big inspiration as far as your gardening and just your demeanor and how you guys carry yourselves. Some shout outs and thank yous, they might not even notice this, but my neighbor on this side had given me the broccoli plants, and she split costs on some of my amendments there with the soils and things too. So working together with your neighbors, good idea. And then over here, she had given me the squash that you'll see in some of the videos that are just bursting. They're like the best squash plants I've probably ever seen. Of course, my first year, I haven't had a lot of experience. I'm just super impressed with how well they grow and so forth. But there's some quick shout outs. There's more to mention. Don't forget, follow my Kiwi walks. Follow my Kiwi walks. And subscribe, comment. You want to comment so you can win the prize at the end of the month. July is going to be a busy month, so you'll probably see a decent amount of gardening from me, but enjoy, and again, have a great day. Peace.